go. Player cards. LanceDrago versus PolterGhost. LanceDrago? I don't think this is right. No, yeah, Lance did get top 8 in MT12, right? Yeah, MT12 should
Yeah.
be right. Those are the right stats. So yeah, Lance, Cool Wolf versus Crow. Pretty good win rate, 60%. It's gone 12 and 8. Has entered quite a few.
Yeah, I know quite a
Polterghost, on the
few.
other hand,
Has a star. PolterGhost
known.
did pretty well the last match, so that's a
Yeah,
doesn't have such a good win rate, but it's here after eliminating Arc Bliss, so it's not shouldn't count him out.
yeah, pretty known face in the Kuzo scene. Water versus Dark. Good attributes. The most broken deck right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is comprised of water and dark monsters. It's fun.
I mean, I like how you have to say most broken because basically every deck is broken.
No, this one's just like it was fine before, but then this one is just completely ridiculous. They tried to murder the deck in the OCG with a ban list, and it's still the best deck. It's just not like overbearingly strong, but it's still like the best deck. It's crazy. This deck is actually insane. It was so fine before that. The meta was fun and varied. There's a lot of top decks. And now it's just all tier limits. A shame. They're not in Master Duel yet, guys. You can still play that. At least until Sprite comes out.
I don't know. I'm just scared. If I hear a Yu-Gi-Oh player calling something broken, it can't be good.
Oh, tier is broken. Tier is absolutely completely broken. They have a they have a hand trap combo starter, which is just insane. It's literally, if they draw one of their monsters in their archetype, they get to ignore the concept of a turn, which is, you know, that's fun. I
Sounds
still
cool.
can't believe they did that. Like in the OCG, I think they limited over half the deck. Like half the deck, they can only run their cards at one. They banned their main like combo tool monster, and it's still the best deck. It's like insane how many hits that deck has gotten. The best part is in the main simulator that everybody uses, Omega. It's like the deck's like the program's broken, so like the deck doesn't work at all, which is so funny. I don't know why it's so broken, and like it had another update and it didn't fix anything. Oh, you know what? So tournament path. Ooh, Lance lost to Aspie on a Pyramid Magic. That game is so freaking hard. I tried testing it on my own, and I had to quit because I couldn't beat like level 7. Ball Cube, Zen, and Yolkspire. I remember seeing the Zen match. Polterghost, played in Gum, Rocket Go, and then Arc Bliss and something that I don't see.
Beat Arc Bliss and Stuntman.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was like 2 days ago. That was like 2 days ago or something. That was a very good performance in that game. That was like very strong.
Yeah, beat
That's
every
a
other time.
that's an unexpectedly difficult game too. The PS2 one is fairly hard too.
I've never seen the PS2 one. I only beat the GBA one when
So
we
awesome.
raised it.
I watched Xiao play all the PS2 ones. It's like even funnier. It's
Yeah,
just like an inherently funny game.
maybe I should look into playing that. Okay, looks like PolterGhost is about ready, so I should probably switch to the game.
Oh, thank God they're both on the right screen. playing in different aspect ratios, which is funny.
It's always very nice when players do that. We get to see the games in a different perspective, you know.
Yeah. Like how? Like what setting did you mess with to get this at 4x3? I don't understand. This is Princess Confusion though. This is it's a random little doujin puzzle game on the PC-98. I don't actually know what group did this. I should know off the top of my head, but I forgot.
You included it in the basement.
It's initialized, that's it. This is the only game they've ever made. It's gonna be a nice chill puzzle game. And if you like Rainwave, enjoy it because we're gonna be keeping it on the entire time because this game has no music and like no sound effects or anything.
You say
Yeah,
it's
new
gonna be
for
a
this
chill
time.
game, but also whenever you
It's
see
hard.
a goal that's like beat floor 8, you get really scared.
Yeah, especially like a puzzle game like this. This game is hard. This game is really hard. I remember Adam describing it as the first Zack-like, which is the most terrifying description of a game ever. Yeah, new for this time is there's actually a speed setting in the options, and for whatever reason, the previous two submissions just kept it on the default speed. Now we're zooming instead. It's like painfully slow otherwise. So we have these little balls. By the way, I should grab the paste bin because it also explains this. But we have these little balls, and they have directions on them: right, left, up, down, and in, which stands for neutral. And what happens is when a ball goes in the hole, oh, thank you. When a ball goes in the hole, it swaps gravity to the direction that the ball says, and your goal is to get all the balls in the hole. The gravity affects every single thing on screen, including you and all the balls. You cannot oppose gravity, so if gravity is pushing you to the left, you cannot move right. And all the balls will fall that way. So yeah, your goal is to find a way to get all the balls in the hole. So for something like what both the players are on right now, you're going to need to start kind of learning the techniques, the method, as I like to call it. There's a lot of like kind of combo setups that you can do that is usually the simplest way to get these goals to work. See, PolterGhost has this. This is not a combo setup, but this works. Looks like, oh, Lance is doing the same thing. So their goal was to push the N back in to make it basically free to move stuff. But you can kind of just do like a big shuffle where it goes like left, up, right, down, bam. And these first few levels are very, very simple. So this is like a required combo piece right here, because that L block on the top is basically completely stuck. That's how you know this is kind of a Sokoban game, because you can get things stuck.
So when you change gravity, it only changes for a little bit and then goes back to normal?
No, it's changed forever. Unless it gets overwritten by another ball. Yeah, let me see if I see the solution to this. This is another, just like you kind of just combo it. I think I went like up, down, and then counted on. Yeah, if Lance finds ways to push the U. Oh, there is no way to push the U into the goal. Oh wait, yeah, there is. You push the right, the R, then push the U down. Push it left. No, that still doesn't work. Yeah, this U is like stuck on this layer.
Can you push the D around the goal? And then when you push the U, the D goes in?
Yeah, that could work. Yeah, that's a way better plan. Yeah. Do like this, then yeah, you need to like shuffle the D around. Oh, PolterGhost software.
PolterGhost, got it, yeah.
And also there are blocks, there are balls that say B on them. These are bombs. They will blow up the kind of soft blocks in the wall that you see there. You do have to get these in the goal as well, or just use them.
Beast for bomb gravity. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just make a different sprite. Oh no, Lance! A box in the brim looks grim. You can't do that. It's so close to working. But it's right gravity, so can't move left even if they wanted to. Yeah, in is neutral. I don't know why the why did they just make a second sprite? Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, clearly they can draw. They made a princess and everything. A bomb will just be a
Oh no,
black circle.
PolterGhost. I don't like this, but this might shuffle around the other pieces. Here's the problem: you have to think about the entire orchestration at once. So like if you push this down, like yeah, it'll take care of. Oh no, yeah, because the inn moves as well. You have to trap the inn. But it could potentially move other balls into unusable spaces.
It could work if you put the end. Yeah, you trapped the end on that wall, but since the end was in the corner, couldn't do anything. Mrs. asking, does this game have undo?
Uh, yes, I think so. I think it's in the menu. I think it's like no, there's a save and load state in the menu. Which the players did see. Yeah, it's store and restore. Their save state and load state. I don't think I even used it a single time. So yeah, on this puzzle, you do have to get that B unstuck by using a D block. And now, as long as PolterGhost doesn't screw this up, all these balls are very maneuverable. They're not in any kind of stuck positions. And yeah, you have plenty of space to maneuver this around. Maybe now would be a good point to use the save state. Yeah, there we go. That's a restore.
Yeah, saved it a bit earlier.
Yeah, I don't like this for Lance that U is stuck. That's not gonna work. Yeah, I don't know, the fact that there was a save state and load state, like, just didn't even cross my mind while playing this.
Oh, Polter went back to the beginning. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I gonna save state here? Maybe he's trying to do this in like one. It's not possible to do this in one big combo. So maybe he wants to get this U out of the way. Or okay, it was in a bad position before.
Yeah, I think I thought the U was stuck before, but it wasn't.
Now be this. You have up left down. This should be simple enough to do. Yeah, there was a full story mode race. This game is so hard. This game is like underratedly hard. Let's see if PolterGhost sees the combo. It's still trying to figure out kind of an opener for this. I think I did move one of the extra blocks. Oh, I don't like this for PolterGhost, but this'll work, I guess. Now move the U to match the D. And then push the L in. Oh, don't save state right now. Oh, do not save state right now, because if you screwed up, like, okay, good.
Okay, it was good.
That's scary if you save state right there, because if you screwed up, all those balls are in like unusable positions. Yeah, Polter is moving pretty fast through this. Oh no, don't do that.
Yeah, no.
That's like not even close to right. This puzzle was actually really simple. There's like a big spike around like 6 or 7. Yeah, I don't know why Polter was resetting. Lance is in the same state they were earlier, and this is perfectly solvable. In fact, it's like pretty much the same state.
Yeah, I think he just thought that the U was stuck there, close to the wall, but actually it's not because you can push it right and then left.
Yeah, 5 is tricky actually. 5, I don't know. I think I kind of just stumbled into the right answer, but I've played this like multiple times, and I've stumbled into the right answer like every time, so I don't know. You can get the blocks like stuck, and that's the key. You need to do some kind of shuffling around of the order, but other than that, yeah, has no way to push those blocks around. I remember kind of like shuffling around the order, getting one of the blocks stuck. I think I pushed it so like D was right next to the goal. Pushed the R in from the right. I don't remember how I solved this at all. And then like got the U stuck up top. There's a lot of ways I think that you can do this one. It does require some shuffling around.
So
It's a
far,
thing. I don't know. It's been a while since I tested this.
seems to be the case that all the levels have lots of ways to do them, but also lots of ways to get stuck.
Yeah, just because the gravity, like you can just kind of get yourself stuck. Like, yeah, that's bad for PolterGhost. You can't move that ball anymore. Oh, don't save state here. No, this is. Oh, I don't like this. I see the point, but this won't work. Well, this work? This might work.
Maybe? Oh,
Now
yeah.
get the U stuck. Yeah, if you get the U stuck, that this works. Just push it into the little cubby. Oh no, not there. Oh, this works. This also works. You don't have to get it stuck. It's just a little more elegant. Yeah, 6 I think is where this jumps up a little bit, because this is kind of like a tricky permutation. See if Lance can get past 4. These players are so much faster than I was. Though I think pretty much all my time was on 7 and 8. And you only have one bomb block right here. You gotta pick which one to blow up. Oh no! The box in the corner! The box in the brim looks grim! Oh, I really don't like this, but it could still work in this. I didn't like pushing a ball into any position where it required gravity.
But you can, which makes this a bit more complicated than Sokoban. Even if a box is on the rim, you can still save it.
Yeah, it's a very high entropy game because of that. And so many like different orders you can push the balls in. Let's see. I wonder what Polter's plan is right here. Lance clears 4. I'm glad it doesn't look like both players are gonna sub 15 this. I was a little scared of that.
Oh no, there are still 3 levels to go for PolterGhost. No way. It's sub 15.
Yeah, I'm curious. The plan is here. Right up, like the up is not in a good position. That's going to do nothing for you, unless you push the. You can't push the D into a usable position though, because you didn't blow up the bottom block. And the U is stuck now. Like, what are you going to do? Yeah, I think Poltergeist is stuck on this. I don't think this is gonna work.
PolterGhost agrees.
C still. There we go. Yeah, that's exactly how you do it.
Nice. Sub 15 on the old goal.
7 was the hardest one, by far. This was like, I don't even remember how I solved this, but this level is so hard. I did so many shuffling around of like every ball. It was just impossible. Luckily, there are some parts you can kind of break this up into chunks. You know that you have to engage using the R on the right. You have to push the R into the hole from the right, and that's how the whole combo starts. Once you do that, you're completely stuck, so you already know all the pieces have to combo together. Because you can't push any other ball to the right, so like there's no hope of that. And none of them move left, so that's the only way you can start. So that's at least narrowing down some of the possibilities, like instantly. I think I solved 8 by pushing something as it moved, but I don't think it was required. So also interesting to note on Poltergeist screen, you have enough room to actually shuffle around the balls in this, which is what I did, I think. So like if you move to the left, you can push the R to the right 2 spaces, and then you can kind of move around the order of all the balls down here. So yeah, this is really bad for Poltergeist. Both those are stuck, and there's no way to get anything up. You had to kind of push things into corners and just know how they would go. It requires a lot of like forward thinking and a lot of experimentation.
That's what I was going to say. It feels like this kind of level where you have only 4 and you need them to combo will be very helpful if you could see how they combo before you start shuffling things around, so you can sort of know what the end state you want is. But also it's hard to visualize the gravity, so sometimes you can't do that without experimenting and shuffling the balls around.
Yeah, I don't even remember the order. I think I pushed the U into the bottom right corner. Maybe, and then pack both of the right. Yeah, then you pack both of the rights up top, and then you have enough room to put the D in to the left of the hole, and then you push the right in. And that should... No, that won't solve it. What? Because that goes down... Yeah, that won't solve it. It's a very complicated level. See, I kind of like how this is looking for Lance, but that D, I mean, this will still work as long. Yeah, if you just push it right into the goal, this works.
Yeah, Lance is solving this now. Clear.
Yeah, it's always scary just pushing things onto the corners. I'll have to see. I think you have to switch around the orders of the balls on this. You very much cannot do what Poltergeist is doing because now you cannot push any of the two balls up there. You have to start packing things into corners. And like as soon as you start the whole thing, like you're stuck. You can't do anything. So, and you're also blocking. So if you were counting on a ball to somehow move up the right side, which would be impossible, it's just not doable. It would also have no way to push itself left.
At least now that PolterGhost did the combo, started the combo, now they realize that once they start the combo, they can't do anything anymore.
Yeah, you already know it has to be the way that you engage because like if you're moving if you weren't in the corner and the right gravity activated, it'd be stuck in the corner forever. You cannot step on the hole. I kind of like what Poltergeist has right here, kind of tucking the R in the corner to be able to push other pieces away. I like the save state. You know what? I should use that more. So now if you push the R in, that's gonna solve the down up, but the only problem is now you have no way. You can only get one R in, and that's completely stuck. So now it's probably just going to load state, maybe play around with a little bit. So you'll see, that's pretty... Here's the thing of puzzle games, though. Sometimes if you're really close to the solution, you're actually just really, really, really far away from it. Because, like, you're doing the naive solution, and the game makes it so that a very naive solution gets close, but is not too close. And then just, like, it just screws up. So I want to see what happens if Polter just... No, if you push the R all the way up, the down is going to push it down one. So like it would never make it there anyway. Yeah, as soon as you start everything, like it's over. It all has to go in. LanceDrago also onto 7.
Now the real race starts.
But we'll have to see what Polter does right here. This is not going to work because it gets stuck like that. And if you load state now, like there's no point because you can't do anything else to optimize this. You need to pack things in the top 3x3, but there's just no way with how it's set up right now. The aspect ratio for the PC98 is, I believe, like 5x3.
Five by three, huh?
Think so? It's like the monitors for it are like really weird. Oh no, okay, it's 16x10, like DOS. That's yeah, what? Okay, I'm dumb. Why did I think it was anything else?
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Maybe this will be closer. No, it wasn't. You know what? Just go 16x9. Oh god, that looks so terrible. You know what? We'll just... It's fine. See, I'm trying to remember how I solved this. I remember shuffling around the orders of the balls, but I might have done it enough times that it was just in the same order anyway. You definitely have to go right, and then either the D or the U has to be in front of the hole. I'm guessing the D, although you can swap the order of them. So maybe you want the U there? So like right above the hole will be a D, and then to the left, no, that won't work. Maybe you push the D in the bottom right corner, and then R in the top two, and then U to the left of the hole. Yeah, I'd want to see you play this solo. You'd finish it in like 5 minutes. It'd be so ridiculous. I remember, I think the fastest time we saw before, which was on a different goal at a different game speed, was Adam. And it was like really fast. Oh no, Maurice did it in 13 minutes. Okay, on the slow speed. Yeah, I think I'm remembering how you do the stage. See, I don't like this up on the top because like eh, once the gravity swaps to up, it's gonna be really hard to position things at the bottom because if you put two things at the bottom, like you can't get out anymore unless you put them in like a really weird position. So I think the U has to be below the hole. Well, no, it can't be. No, yeah, this has to be right. The U just can't be below the hole, and the D can't be above it, because then it has no way to get into the hole. Yes, while gravity is moving, like while balls are moving, you could do whatever you want as long as it doesn't oppose gravity. Here's the thing, Beth. What would you do? Because you have to start from the right. And once you're there, you're completely stuck. Like there's nothing that you can do. And there's no way that you can push a ball in. See, I think Lance is seeing, yeah, you can't have the U above the goal, can't have the D below, because there's just no way to get it in. Unless you do something like what Lance is doing. Not Lance, what Polterghost just did. But even then, it just kind of locks you in an alternate, in like a really awkward position, because then the gravity is going to be stuck up or down like that. Yeah, I definitely agree with ours above and below the hole. It just, well, I don't know if I agree with above and below. Because you can only have one ball to the left of the hole. And if you stack it on the bottom, yeah, maybe if you stack it on the top, actually. Yeah, like I kind of like what Poltergeist is doing right now. Then maybe an R on top. Oh no, no, Polter, you just got yourself stuck.
Yeah, I don't like what PolterGhost is doing right now.
I have a feeling that there's more than one combo to finish this. See, Lance is gonna quickly figure out that like that's not gonna work. There's at least a few moves that are like completely definitely wrong, and you have to eliminate those first. Oh no, this is even worse for Polter. This is all the balls are completely stuck then. Yeah, I could probably open paint and solve it, but like I don't want to. See, this is definitely not going to work from Polter because now the balls are just stuck. Yeah, there's no way to get in without getting one of them stuck. And in fact, you actually get like all of them stuck.
I do that when I'm racing sometimes. I'm racing a puzzle game and then I just open paint and start drawing arrows because it's easier than playing the game.
Yeah, yeah, Myth has the right solution. It's also kind of a puzzle of getting the balls in the right order. I what I did to shuffle around the order, which I think is what you're supposed to do, is there's this little cross section in the below the 3x3 of the hole, and there's two spaces to the right, which means that you have plenty of room to push balls in there. Yeah, Myth goes right and down right. Oh, yeah, yeah, Myth has it right. Yeah, I want to say that's how I solved it. Was how Alkami was saying. Push the free R to the left of the hole, and then the D is below that. I want to say that's what I did. Okay. Polter needs to swap the order. Right, down, up, right. Let's see, I think they're both close to a solution. Like, does this work? No,
No.
so close. Because the R moves down. Yeah, yeah, there's no way that's gonna work. It gets shuffled down by the momentary down gravity. See, if I was Polter, I would just reset now, because, like, there's, like, no move that I could do that would have this actually work then. Because the D has to be the left of the hole now. Because otherwise you just get stuck in an infinite R loop.
We've been here for 15 minutes now, so the goal could be just beat level 7 and it will be long enough.
Yes, you have to sync them on the same push, Nico, because if as soon as you push the right end, you're completely stuck on the right. Like there's nothing you can do to get out of there. Yeah, Polter definitely needs to, I think, reset. I don't know. I wouldn't even see a permutation that makes this work. Because that's the exact same solution you tried before. I would like to see how Okami has a two-push solution, considering that, like, it's almost not possible. I wouldn't see any way that was possible. Because to have a two-push solution, you would have to not engage from the right. And I don't see any way to not engage from the right, because any sort of gravity shifting to the right makes this unsolvable if you're not on the right. Because you have no way to push a block back to the left. You cannot oppose the direction of gravity. So as soon as the gravity moves right, you're stuck on the right. You cannot move left. Yeah, I think both players need to recognize that this is not going to be a solvable state. There's just not enough permutations of what you can do. No, your character also cannot oppose gravity at all. Y'all need to read the paste spin. I put all that lovely info in there just for you. Yeah, this would be trivial if you could oppose gravity. Yeah, I like this from PolterGhost reset now. There's just no move from that position that'll work. I even put lovely info about the game at the bottom of all my paste spins. I say who developed it, what year, random other things they've done. I put so much effort into something that nobody's ever going to read. Yeah, Lance resetting as well. There's just no way.
I read it, I just forgot about it 5 seconds after. I was like, oh, this was developed by Ini something, and then 5 seconds later, I don't know who developed this game.
That would be funny if Bomb Gravity did something special. Sadly, it's not even gravity because it doesn't change the bottom right of the screen, which is the current gravity meter. It just shows a ball with a letter on it because that's how gravity meters work.
I've been looking at this game for 35 minutes and I never noticed the current gravity meter.
Yeah, I still don't like this from Lance because this is like the same position you were in before. Like, how are you gonna swap this when you have this U right above the hole into like a meaningfully different board state? There's just no way. Putting that U at the top right there, it limits too many of your moves. Oh, I like Poltergeist seeing the shuffle technique. Oh, I like the save state too. Now push the R to the right. Not to the right, to the left. No, you can push the other R to the right. Wait, no, you can't. There's some way to shuffle this around. I think. Oh yeah, you push the D around, then the R around. You shuffle the order, then you can freely push the U. Yeah, I like this. I like this from Polter. And then that swaps the order. No, Polter, you gotta push the R down first. See, I remember this being part of my solution. I do like the slight like execution required too. No, you're just doing the same thing now, Polter. And now you're completely stuck. You gotta reset now. I liked it. I thought this puzzle was very clever. It was really hard, but it was so clever that I wanted to put more of this game in the goal because I knew it would have been too short with it being at fastest speed, and there's no reason to keep it at normal speed. Yeah, I like the light execution thing of having it be really fast. I don't think this is going to do anything for Lance. Yeah, this is a board state you've been in before. Yeah, this is literally like a Sokoban technique right here, the Soko spin. With this, like, you just have to know it, or just figure it out like I did.
Polter's doing something that looks good.
Yeah, I like this. Push the U. You know it's not in a stuck state, so it's not like a problem to push it in. Gonna push the D up now? It's like your only meaningful move. And I like reordering the permutation of these balls. See, but like this is doing other PolterGhost. You gotta just pick something to put up there first. Just anything. Which I guess in this case it has to be the D. Although you could spin it around again to pick another block to put up front. Yeah, you could put any of these balls in any permutation, actually. See, I don't know what Boulder is thinking now. Oh, now you're stuck. You're screwed now.
So it looks like Polter sees the solution but wants to put that R in first. But the other R is just as good as that R. They're both R's.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I thought they were positioning around to put the D in first. I was like, that's nice, but just didn't. Oh no, didn't like that state. I guess no, that state was reversible. Yeah, I'm really curious what they're thinking right now. Oh, yeah, that's bad. A ball on the brim looks grim. Even then, you've now discovered the technique that you can put the balls in any permutation that you want. So at this point, I would kind of just start trying them. Like, you don't really have much to lose. Alright, now push the R. Shuffle around the order. Now push the U. If you push in the bottom left, it's still safe. Now you push the D in. Oh, it wants to shuffle it around again. No, this is still reversible. You don't have to reset. It's still reversible.
Looks like they have a plan at least. That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Lance really just seems like he's trying random things.
Yeah, this is the exact same solution that he tried before. It's weird that Polter is resetting thinking that the state was not reversible, considering that that's how they started.
It's a start state, exactly.
It's a quantum mechanics problem if you really think about it, because you see these balls are not indistinguishable. It completely changes the mechanics of the situation.
Right.
Oh, I like this from Polter. I really like this from Polter. We'll see. I probably wouldn't save state here in case I screwed up with the U.
There we go.
There we go. That's a clear. I remember 8 being really kind of tough too. You just don't have a lot of room to maneuver stuff. I remember you having to kind of shuffle around the order, and like having to do some weird thing of like having a ball moving along the edge of like just perfectly timed. Yeah, for Lance, this is the exact same state that you set the puzzle in before, that you on the top and the R on the bottom. So like this isn't gonna do anything new. It's probably just gonna try it anyway. Let's see. Because this one, I legitimately don't remember the solution at all.
It's very
See,
cramped.
this like RD block. This RD block is very, very annoying to deal with. Hey, I enjoyed playing this game. I enjoyed kind of racing it. People enjoyed racing it before too. They really liked it, and that was when the game was really slow.
It was low, but you didn't have to deal with level 7.
Yeah, you did not have to deal with 7. It ended after 6, which honestly was maybe a little too easy. Don't ask me the lore interdirigible race story mode of this game, so ask him. Yeah, I don't remember. I solved 8 at some point. No, she's not confused. She's causing other people to be confused. She is the princess of confusion. Yeah, I remember moving around the circle that Poulter's on, pushing the D to the right, and then like that was my start. Oh, I don't like this Lance. If you reset to a state like this, it's like you can't get in without getting the ball stuck. I don't think the cutscenes in this are 18 plus. Interdirigible played it. You can tell us. I didn't. I only played these 8 levels. I would like to play through the rest of the game. Ooh, pushing the R. Yeah, believe it or not, guys, there are non-adult games on the PC 98. I don't know if this is like mind-blowing for you or not.
I got that reference in his head.
Yeah, that's what a game. Well, I know that anybody out there that dissing the PC 98 for being all arrow gay, I hope they're not Falcom fans, because then they're fake fans. I kind of like this from Polter, actually. I would maybe like pushing the R in the top left corner. No, because then you'd have no way to move it.
Yeah, if you push the R to the left, then you will need the R to move itself to the right, and you can't do that.
Maybe you can shuffle around and have the L in the top left corner? Yeah, there's some other, like, just like puzzle mode. this is kind of tricky for Volter. You only have one move right here. I don't like moving the R right there. Oh, no, that could work. Push the L in the top left corner. There's no way to get the U to... Well, you need to push the R away, get the U to the left of the hole, the L in the top left corner, and then down right below the hole? I don't know. If I had Paint open, it would be a lot easier. I kind of think I'd have to be playing the game in order to visualize. Oh yeah, now you shuffle around like Bolter. I like this technique. Oh, I don't like that though. A ball on the brim looks grim. Not gonna work.
It's already easy to get yourself soft lock and Sokoban with on the fastest speed. It's a bit easier.
This game doesn't need an undo button because it has save state and load state. And they're like built in to the game. They're not like hacks or anything. I don't even know if Necro Project supports save states. I don't think it does. I don't know if I like this R position for Polter. I don't know. I'm trying to see what you would do. The problem is that D is stuck on the bottom. Like you can never push it up. I think I think that's the D where it started, because there's one of them that started stuck. See, now Polter. Oh, not like that. Yeah, the D is stuck. So we'll see. I like this shuffle. And the save state, beautiful. See, Lance still kind of struggling. 7 is definitely so hard though. Yeah, like push the D all the way. L's right there, so this will go up. Yeah, what's the order here? Oh, the problem is this D. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna work right there. Yeah, I'm trying to see the plan here.
If the D were below the U, that would work, but then you couldn't push the U.
Yeah, I don't think up is the first move. I think it's either left or right. I don't think it can be up. Because you want to have up active for more than one block, so it pushes the D in. Yeah, you need to like have the D be offset in a way that it lands in the hole. See, how do you get the U in now? Because that's not gonna work. This is definitely a good state from Polter, though. Just it's very easy. It's very easy. You just go whatever order you want here. I kind of like this from Polter actually. But now, how do you engage, left or right? I don't like right. Actually, no. I do like right. I like right a lot. But I don't like the D being there now. If you push the D closer to the right, and then... I think I was close. I need like a screenshot of this. Yeah, you can definitely bop the ball in the hole as it goes by. For some reason, I remember solving this all in one combo, but I don't remember how. It might not have been. I don't know, this is a while ago that I tested this. You won't be falling down because of gravity. You just can't move the direction opposite of gravity. It's only the balls that move because of gravity. I liked that you being on the left. That you being on the left looked so correct to me. There's something about it. You engage with R, have it push the U into the hole. That puts L right there. So push L one more. Oh, don't push the D all the way into the corner.
No, this work. Yeah.
That works. That's a clear. Yeah, when I saw this level, I was like, you know what? I'm not playing any more of this. It's probably not a hard level, I just didn't want to.
Bomb gravity level.
I was also already at like 50 minutes when I got to this point. Backwards would be hilarious. Like, how would they even work? Like, this doesn't work. Oh, I didn't even put down the second date that I tested this on. My testing tree is so incomplete. It still says that I tested this in 2020, because that was when I first submitted it. Yeah, so if you say that we're gonna put more levels in a puzzle game in a test, I'm sorry, but I think I'm just gonna ignore you.
I probably would too.
Hello.
Well, hello, PolterGhost.
I'm
Congratulations on being
screaming-
confused.
I'm screaming inside and out right now.
Yeah, it's a very hard game, but
Good
a fun
lord.
time playing it. Yeah, I'm gonna assume that you're not a big PC 98 gamer, so this is kind of unexplored territory for you.
I think I played exactly 2 PC 98 games, and both of them are kind of jank, so
I wonder if I could guess what they were. I don't know.
probably not.
Rusty? Was Rusty one of
No.
them? Oh, that was close to correct.
It may
Well-
not even be PC 98 games, now that I'm thinking about it. It might be 88s.
Oh, then I especially wouldn't know. But yeah, it's a weird kind of dojin-ish puzzle game. It has some very kind of clever puzzle mechanics. It's honestly, it's kind of more Zack-like than Sokoban-like. So, like, it's very strange. It's kind of hard to wrap your head around at first, but then once it gets going, you kind of like see kind of the elegance in it, which is what I liked about it.
Like the puzzle solving is straightforward when you know you just have to get like up, left, down, right, and it's like that's the solution to every puzzle for the most part. The question is, how do you get there from going vertical to lateral to vertical to lateral again?
Yeah, it's a very big order of operations puzzle. It's very high entropy puzzles, as I like to call them,
Mm.
and it's something that I really like. And it was great to see you play it because I mean, you did pretty well. That's definitely a hard game.
I was like, oh well, the first 5 levels are done in like 20 minutes or so. How hard could the last three be?
No, the key
Oh,
thing in MT is if you get a puzzle game, if you get any game, and you see a goal is beat stage number, and the stage number is really low, that's a little scary to begin with, because they're probably really hard.
it certainly fulfilled that.
And if it's a platformer, usually the key is just don't die, because it's
Mm.
usually like, oh, the deaths are really punishing. In a puzzle game, that doesn't work. Like, it's mostly just that the puzzles are hard.
Well, this was certainly a both exactly what I expected and not what I expected at all.
Yeah, it's a real cute, clever game. Um, I hope you like the speed. When we put this in MT before, I kept it at the default speed, and it's like hilariously slow. It's like you just waste so much time on it.
Oh man, the speed was fine up until the game decided to just double input me on the same frame. It's like, all right, well, guess I'll hit the restart button again.
Yeah, it's nice that it has save state, load state. That's definitely really rare.
Ah, but it takes so long to save and load.
I didn't end up using it at all when I played this, and I kind of wish that I did now, because that probably would have gone a lot faster.
It's certainly helpful when you know what the solution is, but the problem is you don't know how to position everything to get to it.
Yeah, and like you make a good save state in a position that's very like reversible, so you have a lot of options. It's just a more maneuverable position. But
Yeah.
like if a puzzle's in two parts, like that earlier one that introduced the bomb, that's a good place for like save state, load states.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to even get tripped up on that puzzle, and then I just, for whatever reason, kept pushing things into places where they just could not be moved again.
Yeah, it requires a lot of forward thinking, which is, you know, some people are really good at. Some MT players are really good at puzzles. You know, it's rare when I submit a puzzle game. So, but looking at the bracket, you move on to fight Okamiya Games. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's like just like old times, you know. By old times, I mean probably not too long ago. I don't know.
He and I end up against each other way too often.
I'm still in Kuso somehow, so it can happen. We'll see about that come Sunday.
Oh lord, yeah.
This is the first time that I even have the possibility of making it out of groups, so
How exciting.
I have to win 2 first places and a tiebreaker.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. Or no, I guess just 1 and then a tiebreaker. See, yeah, sadly, this was a loser's bracket match, so Lance is out of the tournament, but pretty good showing. Let's see. Looks like lost round 1. Yeah, because I saw that before. Show me. Yeah, lost to Anasep round 1, then beat Yorki Desu, Zerfall, Hectate, and then lost in this match. So, you know, 3-2. Not bad.
Yeah.
Going more than 2-2 is a feat.
I feel like going more than 0-2 is a feat.
Yeah, I've only done that once, so I'd say that's pretty true. There's a reason I'm a tester now.
It's there's certainly players that know way more about way too many things than most people. And I have my strong points. I have a lot of strong points, but man, I hit a puzzle game and it's like, well, let me just reach over to the forfeit button real quick.
Sometimes you hit those 1 or 2 strings. They happen. And then those games get put in a top 8, and then the top 8 players still destroy your time that you thought was good. It's happened like twice now. But yeah, FFAO, this is your time to hit the button. because that was the last scheduled match for today. And our next match that is scheduled is for tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST. The Gons versus Threllis. It's a weekend. We're probably gonna have a lot of matches on the weekend. We're slowly winding down the tournament. We have less and less games to play. Today was a round deadline for losers 4, and I only see 2 matches on there that aren't done. And I don't personally know what's happening with them, but I'm gonna assume they're fine because otherwise I would see Internet Dirigible yelling a lot more at people. But yeah, those look good. Probably gonna have quite a few matches. Let me see. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3 on the 4th and like 5 on the 5th. It's gonna be very, very exciting to see. Always more empty matches to see. But it looks like that's gonna be all for us today, as we have planned. New matches sometimes kind of spin up whenever they want, and restreamers might potentially grab them. But that's definitely the last one that's scheduled. So it looks like, everybody out there, we will see you in approximately 17 hours and 51 minutes. I'd like to thank you, FFAO, for restreaming and being with me on commentary. I'm glad it was this game, because I would never leave you alone with a game like this.
I apologize for knowing slightly too much about Shinobi.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I would have
really
preferred to see you
excited to
race
play
this. Yeah, thanks to PolterGhost and Lance for playing, of course. Glad to see you playing more. Also, a few more announcements. I can say this now because Boney gave us the AOK. FunFest in approximately 2 months, probably. And weekly blinds are going to be probably starting. I don't know when Muware kind of wants to handle that. It's going to be Saturdays at 4 p.m. is what we're thinking right now. I will probably be restreaming those when they happen. I would like to play in them, but I think it'd be fun to restream them. So yeah, those may be happening starting up soon. And then potentially more events down the line. I don't know. I haven't actually looked into the odd chat about what's happening there, but maybe we'll plan something. But yeah, next week would be cool. And 4 p.m. is a good time, maybe better for some other people. But yeah, it's going to be all for us for now. We will see you in about 17 hours and 15 minutes, all right?
Yeah, congratulations to PolterGhost. Thanks to TPC for not leaving me alone commentating a puzzle game, because I'm not very good at those. And we'll see each other again in 18 hours.
So long, everybody.